A caller called 911 as he needed an emergency at the corner store next to CVS as the kid has been shot 3 times and he's bleeding to death. The victim's identification was found in his wallet as Joseph Edward Ross. He was subsequently conveyed to the hospital. However, regrettably, he later succumbed to his injuries. Joseph was shot 3 times, brutally murdered by a cold-blooded killer who didn't give a second thought before killing Joseph. The police secured the area and initiated an investigation of the crime scene. The crime scene came, photographs were taken, and there was a lot of crowd activity, so the police started going up to the crowd to ask, "Do you know what happened here?" The witness of the scene saw the victim talking on the phone, arguing and walking through the parking lot, and then after a moment, a red Dodge pickup truck was seen entering the parking lot. That's where Joseph was brutally murdered. Someone came in the red Dodge truck and shot Joseph 3 times, so then the detectives told Joseph's brother about this whole thing. Detectives arrive at Joseph Ross's home to tell his brother, John Ross. They told him that his brother was found dead and if he knows someone who drives a red Dodge pickup truck. He replied that Nick drives a red truck. Nick is the friend of John, brother of Joseph, the victim. So the detective asked him if his brother and Nick ever got into something, so he told him they argue about stupid stuff and that Nick seems a very crazy person to him, and Nick was a 23-year-old drug dealer who was out of work, and the suspect being armed on a regular basis were all the valid points making Nick closer to being the suspect the police was looking for. The interrogation was about to start and Nick was asleep, as the suspects usually sleep in the interrogation room as they're so exhausted. The detective started questioning him and he kept denying So the detective asked Nick that his vehicle was also found at the place of murder and he had 3 guns on him, so did he fire them or not? He was trying to get away with the question, but it was obvious that he was there at the time of the murder when the shots were fired. Nick was aware that he cannot get away with what he had done, but he still was denying that he was not there at the time of the murder. The detectives knew from the very moment that Nicholas was a suspect and he was trying to conceal it and get away with it. But the detectives were cross-questioning him and forcing him to speak the truth as they already knew the truth, but still, Nick kept lying, thinking as if it would help him. Nick kept denying that he wasn't there, so the detective made him feel threatened, which was expressed when Nick put his hand into his pocket, so it's another way that's showing that he is concealing and hiding what he has done. Nick didn't accept his crime and asked if the detective had the footage of his truck being there, which was not there when the detective played bluff to make Nick accept the crime he had done. But Nick was trying his best to conceal everything. After a lot of arguing, the detective asked Nick what happened was completely shocking. The detective was provoking him to speak the truth, so he said, "Does lying help you?" To which Nick responded as, "I am not lying." The detective then said, "Then tell me what you did." What happened next was... Nick suddenly showed that he is pure evil by his cold-blooded confession, in which he had zero regrets and that he is not even ashamed of what he had done. He tried to conceal it before, but now the whole thing was out of his hands, so he spoke with cruelty and with a lot of insensitivity that he had murdered Joseph and started saying it with a lot of bad words. The police officers were extremely astonished to see his cruelty and the way he was not feeling that he has done something wrong. The detective said that from the beginning it was obvious who the suspect was, and the suspect was in custody, and within a few hours the confession was done and Nick was on his way to jail. In 2016, Nicholas was found guilty of premeditated of murder. Nick was sentenced to life in prison. The detective said that Nick's confession showed that he had planned to murder Joseph from the beginning and that he didn't even care about it. Joseph's mother was glad to see that Nick got prison for a lifetime, so he won't be able to kill any other person or any other innocent soul out there, and even if he gets the chance, he might not, as he was a cruel, cold-blooded killer. There are always consequences of our bad deeds and bad actions, so the conclusion of this whole scenario is one should be aware of the fact that killing someone is not good at all, no matter what, and being insensitive is the worst thing you could do to yourself and others, especially others, because it hurts them. A good human is someone who treats others with respect and compassion, and who strives to make the world a better place through their actions and words. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you liked this video and gained valuable insights. If you found this content helpful, please make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more exciting videos in the future. Stay tuned.